microphone back. And coming up next, Mary is... Okay, let's give him the old talk.
Sure. Well, I'd be so pleased to talk about Adam Rand. And Adam is an Australian by birth, and he was a columnist for the New York Post, and he received 15,000 letters. He wrote The Answers for Managers, which became a bestseller, and it was eventually translated into German, Spanish, and Hungarian. Since that time, he has hosted a radio program for 5 years, wrote 20 self-help books, 175 prose poems, and 207 short stories. Don't we feel like slackers next to this guy? Adam will share his story, The Fortunate Woman, with us today. Please welcome Adam Rand.
The Fortunate Woman. It was yet another attack on an old person in the South Bronx. Sergeant Thomas Wojciechowski of the 41st Precinct couldn't understand why grown children allowed their elderly parents to live in the New York City borough, which consistently had the worst crime rate in the city. The damning annual statistics had just come out the month before. 132 murders, 310 rapes, 4,875 daylight robberies, not to mention the assaults, the burglaries, the car thefts, the prostitution, the rampant drug use, the chronically mentally ill, and the desperate indigents who constantly demanded money from anybody who walked by. The East Tremont section of the Bronx was among the worst, with its poverty, its graffiti, and its street gutters littered with broken bottles, crushed cans, rotting food, and discarded hypodermic needles. The call about the assault had come in from an older female Hispanic resident on Vice Avenue. She knew the old lady. She said she was known as E.G. Sergeant Wojciechowski and Officer Doug White grabbed a police cruiser and drove quickly to the scene of the crime. At the same time, an ambulance was summoned. There may have been injuries in a daylight assault on a main street. What they found confused them. There was an old lady holding a wooden cane who said, "Call me E.G." And the black assailant who was lying on the ground and groaning in pain. "What happened, dear madam?" Pointing with her cane at the would-be robber, she said, "He rode by on a bicycle, stopped, got off, and grabbed my purse. I wasn't going to give him my purse. So I was yelling, 'No, no!' So this man heard me and walloped him good." Who was the man? Did you know him? He was about average height, average weight. I think he had brown hair, but I'm not sure at my age. I don't even remember what I ate for breakfast. Did you get his name or anything? No, he said he was late for work. "Are you all right, madam? Do you need to go to the hospital? We can take you, no problem." No. Not unless they can help me with my arthritis, my constipation, or my difficulty hearing. The ambulance arrived, and the first aid squad reported that the purse grabber probably had 3 or 4 broken ribs, a shattered kneecap, had lost 2 front teeth, and was suffering from a major concussion. Wojciechowski and White both agreed that the beating was administered by a professional, either a martial arts expert, or an Army Ranger, or a combat Marine, or a Navy SEAL. "You are very lucky, E.G." "Thank you, officer. Many people tell me that I look young for my age." It was 7 weeks later, and a call to 911 was made by a male who refused to give his name. He said that a man on a motorcycle had driven up on the sidewalk in front of an old woman and had attempted to rob her. When the officers arrived, they were stunned to find the motorcycle lying on the ground with a bent front wheel, making it impossible to operate. There was a woman there in her 70s who appeared entirely unharmed, and the perpetrator lay face down on the ground with one ear that was partially severed from his head, 2 black eyes, a swollen elbow, and a forearm and a thumb that was bent back so far that it had to be broken. "What happened here, ma'am?" the police inquired. "Well, this guy rode up in front of me and demanded my money and my watch and my jewelry." She pointed at the man with her wooden cane. There was a crowd of people who were watching us, and one man let out like a war cry, and he attacked my attacker. Can you give us a description of this man? Yes, I sure can. He was average height, average weight. I think he had brown hair, but I'm not sure. At my age, I don't even remember what day of the week it is. The perpetrator, yelling in pain, was taken to the hospital. The police wanted the woman to have herself looked at as well, but the woman said, "I belong to a bridge group. We play every Tuesday, and if I don't show up, my card-playing friends will have my head. I'm fine, and I'm sorry, but I have to go because I'm late already." In the police report, the old woman was identified as Ethel Gilda Lewis, but she indicated that she liked to be called E.G. The incident came to the attention of Sergeant Wojciechowski, who thought how unfortunate that this old woman, E.G., was attacked twice, but how fortunate that in both cases a bystander had come to her aid. 3 weeks and 2 days later, a neighbor of Ethel Gilda Lewis called police to report that there had been a major incident in the entrance hallway to their co-op building. A man had attacked E.G. and was still downstairs with her. Officer Kennedy received the call and alerted Sergeant Wojciechowski. They sped to 102 Vice Avenue to apprehend the criminal and save E.G. from mortal harm. When they ran up the stairs and into the aging building, they found E.G. leaning on her cane and a 21-year-old gang member who had been intent on robbing her. His gun was lying on the floor. He was also lying on the floor, apparently in excruciating pain. Both of his arms were broken. Both wrists were broken. One shoulder was dislocated. Blood had run down his face to his chin and had stained his T-shirt. His left leg was twisted underneath him at an unnatural angle. The sergeant and the officer looked at each other. Officer Kennedy called in an ambulance. "What happened here?" E.G. looked confused. "What do you mean, what happened? He attacked me. What do you think, I attacked him?" "No, I mean, he was trying to rob you." "Of course, I had just come in from the grocery shopping. There's my shopping cart. Over there, under the stairs. He wanted my money, and he wanted my groceries. I was in a very dangerous situation, and thank God, some man came along." "Does the man live in this building? Did you recognize him?" "You know, officer, to tell you the truth, it all happened so fast, I didn't get a chance to really get a good look at him. All I saw was that he was about average height and average weight. I think he had brown hair, but I'm not sure. You know, I have cataracts. I have glaucoma. I'm a diabetic, and the first thing that goes is your eyes. Terrible disease, terrible." Sergeant Wojciechowski commented, it looks like you have a whole group of bodyguards who are looking out for you. You know, this is a terrible neighborhood. Why do you live here? Why don't you move to a retirement village in Florida? Florida? I hate Florida. Too humid and too many old people who don't even remember their names. No, I would never move from here. I've been living here, Sonny, for 79 years. You have any children, E.G.? Oh, yes, my son Chester. He lives in Chicago. Do you mind giving me his telephone number? No. 312-567-4040. He's a good boy. You'll like him. Do you want to go to the hospital? No. I have to bake my upside-down pineapple cake. The girls from my card game are coming to my place tonight, and I have to get busy. But this young man, he looks like he needs help. You should take him. Hello, Mr. Lewis. This is Sergeant Wojciechowski from the 41st Precinct in the Bronx. I'm calling you about your mother. You know that she has been attacked a number of times in the last few months. And luckily, people have come along and have saved her. But the South Bronx has the worst crime record in the city. This is a dangerous place. Have you thought about moving her to another location? After all, she's here by herself. Who knows what will happen to her next time? Thanks for your call, but I'm not worried about my mother. No? Why not? You don't know about my mother. She was in the Army for about 20 years. And what she taught the new recruits was hand-to-hand combat. She has a 3rd-degree black belt in karate and the equivalent designation in Aikido and Kajukembo. She is really quite dangerous. Your mother, that old lady, is a martial arts expert? Oh, yes. She could take on any 4 men, especially with her cane. You mean that old wooden cane that she uses? It's only painted to look wooden. It's actually very hard steel and weighs about 30 pounds. If you get hit with that thing, it will shatter bone. No, I'm not worried about my mother. It's the person who attacks her who is going to be in big trouble. That's unbelievable. But why doesn't she just tell us that she was defending herself? That's easy. She doesn't want you guys saying she used excessive force or people suing her for damages. She'd rather you think that she's a defenseless old woman and some big, strong man came along and saved her. But she wouldn't be happy if she knew that I told you all this. Don't worry, Chester. Your secret is safe with me. Your mother is quite a woman. Yeah, I learned not to mess with her when I was quite young. By the way, don't you annoy her. Don't worry, I won't. That's good, because E.G. has quite a temper. So I shouldn't ask her to join the police force. No. I wouldn't do that if I were you. So she doesn't have a big sense of humor. No, she doesn't have any sense of humor. Sounds like I need to remember that. For sure you need to remember that. For sure. Thank you.